Hi, my name is Robin Wong and I have here with me the Olympus 8-25mm f4 Pro lens. And I want to share my thoughts and first impression of this lens in this video. Let's do this! Before we start, here are some important disclaimers. I'm an Olympus visionary and ambassador to the brand. This is my lens. I bought the Olympus 8-25 with my own money and I get to keep this. This is a production unit, not a review sample. This is not a review video of this Olympus 8-25. Malaysia is still under strict lockdown. The Prime Minister has just announced that the lockdown will not end anytime soon. In fact, it has been extended until further notice. Photography is still banned. I cannot go out and take photographs. If I do, then I'll get caught by the police and sent to the prison or get fined 10,000 ringgit. That's equivalent to 2,500 US dollars. So I'm stuck in this tiny bedroom. There's nothing much I can do. So I'm not doing a review at this moment, but rest assured when I get the chance to go out to really test this lens, I will do my best, and the first thing that I will do after the lockdown is lifted is to do a full review for this Olympus 8-25. In this video, I will just share my thoughts and first impressions of this lens, and I'll share the 5 things that I really like about the Olympus 8-25 Pro so far. Number 1, versatility. The massive zoom range from 8 all the way to 25 is the main reason why I added this Olympus lens into my camera bag. I can totally see myself using this lens for my professional shoots as well as for vlogging purposes for this YouTube channel. For my professional jobs, I do really need an ultra wide angle lens. There are situations where I need to fit a lot of people in a tight space. There are times where I need to do a wide angle establishing shots of the location. A true ultra-wide angle will really make an impact. I also treasure the fact that this lens can quickly zoom all the way to 25, giving me a tighter perspective that allows me to go close to details and get out of the wide angle perspective when I don't want that ultra wide distortion in my shots. Having everything in one lens is just so flexible and I don't have to switch lens or switch camera. I can just quickly zoom to change different perspective and different framing, adding variety to the shots that I can give to my clients. In terms of vlogging for this YouTube channel, in the future I intend to just carry 2 lenses out for all my video purposes. This 8-25, which covers wide angle to medium telephoto, and I will also bring along my favorite 45 f1.8 for my headshot and to get that blurry background bokeh look. These 2 lenses, the 8-25 and 45 f1.8, will do everything that I need for this YouTube channel. Number 2, excellent build quality. Being a pro-grade lens, the Olympus 8-25 is extremely well constructed. The body of the lens is made of metal and it feels really solid and reassuring in hand. Also, the lens is fully weather sealed. That is very important to me because I do shoot outdoor a lot. If you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that I have about 50% chance of encountering heavy rain. I've been trapped in thunderstorms many times. I was fully drenched. So cameras and lenses that are fully weather sealed are important. I've heard of comments about something rattling in the lens. So what I'm going to do, I will shake the lens next to this extremely sensitive microphone and hopefully we will hear something. Here goes. Honestly, I didn't hear anything, but maybe the microphone picked up something. I'll have to review this later. If there is something, or if you feel that there's something rattling in the lens, don't panic. It is perfectly normal. There is a single moving element in the lens that's used for autofocus. That single element is controlled by magnets, and Olympus calls it voice coil motors. It ensures extremely fast and accurate autofocus. So there's really nothing to worry about. Number 3, super close-up shooting capabilities. Olympus claims that the 8-25 Pro lens can achieve about 0.42 times magnification. That's really respectable for a lens that is not a macro lens. Of course, if you want to go for extreme magnification, a true macro 1:1, then go for a macro lens. But not being a macro lens and still be able to achieve that much magnification, this can really do a lot. It opens up a world of opportunities for you to shoot. To me, that's very important because sometimes I do need to go close up to reveal certain details on the things that I shoot. And not having to change lens or just having this one lens to do everything, that's really, really convenient. Number 4, the Olympus 8-25 Pro lens allows you to attach filters directly. That's the reason why I didn't get the 7-14 f2.8 Pro, because you need some cumbersome external attachment converter to use filters. This you can just attach directly, and to me that's really convenient. I do use filters in some situations, especially when I'm vlogging outside under the broad sunlight. I need the ND filter to cut down the light so that I can achieve the cinematic motion of 1/50th shutter speed. I also use ND filters when I shoot with flash. I also use ND filters when I want to slow down the shutter speed to drag it for that smooth water motion when I do landscape photography with an ultra wide angle lens. So being able to attach any filters at all, ND filter, polarizer filter, directly into the lens is a huge bonus point. And finally, reason number 5 why I like this Olympus 8-25 Pro lens is its superior optics. Olympus is a lens expert. They make fantastic lenses, and I'm sure this lens is going to be really sharp and I'm going to love the image quality. Unfortunately, I haven't really tested this lens extensively to come to that conclusion. I'm just saying this based on my faith and my experience, having used dozens and dozens of Olympus lenses before. I'm expecting the same consistency and the same image quality from this lens, and I really cannot wait to go out to really shoot and see how sharp and how great this lens will perform. I understand some of you will say that the f4 constant aperture in this lens is not enough. We wish to have brighter aperture, say f2.8 or maybe even f2 if possible. If the aperture is brighter, the lens will have to be bigger. An f2.8 lens will effectively means that this lens will have to double in size. We don't want that. And I think f4 is a very good compromise between size and image quality. It still manages to keep the size of the lens really small and compact. And I think f4 is good enough for most situations. You can't achieve much blur background using a wide-angle lens. Some people will say, the f2.8 and f2 will create blurrier background. But if you truly want to create blur background, I suggest that you go for the Olympus 25, 45, or 75 f1.8. These lenses will allow you to create much blurrier background than using a ultra-wide-angle lens. This is just not the right lens to do that. And when I use an ultra-wide-angle lens for my shots, I generally want to see everything in focus. I want to have all the details in my shot. So f4 as a start is not a big problem for me. Some of you will argue that, hey, I just want the aperture to be brighter so that when I shoot in low light, I don't have to use high ISO numbers. That I agree with you. But also if you use the 8-25 lens in Olympus camera bodies with powerful 5-axis image stabilization, the camera bodies will help you to stabilize your shots so that you don't have to use crazy high ISO numbers. I do have 2 things I don't like about the Olympus 8-25 f4 Pro lens. People will say that, Robin is biased. Robin only says nice things about Olympus. He never complains. That's not true. I will always say the things I don't like about the products that I review. Every single time I will mention the things I wish to be improved or the weaknesses of the products. It's the same with this Olympus 8-25. Number 1, I don't like that the lens extends. I don't like that it doesn't have internal zooming mechanism. Don't get me wrong, this is not a deal breaker. This is not really a huge complaint, but I wish it has internal zoom. A lot of Olympus lenses does not have internal zoom. A lot of the Pro lenses extend. But I wish that the newer lenses from Olympus will have internal zoom design. It's just my personal preferences. Number 2, I wish that the Olympus 8-25 is smaller. I was expecting the size to be similar to the 12-45 f4 Pro, or at least slightly larger than that. But this is by no means large. It is still quite a compact design, and I really liked it. And I think that it is very similar in size in comparison to the Olympus 12-40 f2.8 Pro, which matches the Olympus EM1 cameras perfectly. So I know that if I'm handling this with the EM1 or the EM5 bodies, it'll feel really balanced and everything will handle really, really well. But I just can't help but to hope that the lens is slightly smaller. That's all I have to share about my initial impression of this Olympus 8-25 f4 Pro lens. I hope you found this sharing beneficial. If you do, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal, links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution goes a long way and will help me to continue making content and publish them right here. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll definitely see you again in the next one. Do stay tuned for my full review of this lens whenever it is possible for me to go out and take photographs again. Until then, stay safe. If you can go out, please take more photographs. Bye-bye.